just to remind all you blacks that it was the Democrats that started the Confederacy and fought to keep slaves, and it was also the Democrats that started the KKK and were against the Civil Rights Act.
I love when the conservatives bring this up. First off, that's not how politic parties work. Secondly, they were mostly Southern Democrats who were called the Fire Eaters and the Redeemers. There were plenty of Dems who didn't agree to it, mostly Northern, but there was this one guy who was vocal against it. He ended up being our 17th president. Let's also not forget there were Republicans who didn't support black people having the same rights as whites. They never mentioned the lily whites. What's ultimately funny about this is that conservatives want to forget about the next 100 years of slow change, and then the next couple of decades after that. How did Dems become the party of slavery to now the party of DEI? Here's a quick lesson. Let's take a trip through time. It's the 1870s, and Jim Crow laws start coming on the books for mostly southern states. Not much changes for a while, and we can even see this in the early 1920s. But then the Great Depression fucks everything up, and Herbert Hoover gets stomped out by a guy named Franklin D. Roosevelt. This is when things start to change. More voting for women happens, black rights start being called into question through FDR's political ideals. FDR wins in landslides for 4 straight elections, and then a fellow Missourian takes over for him after he died in '45, named Harry Truman. It's 1948 and Truman goes against Dewey, and nobody thinks he can win, but he kicks Dewey's ass, however. Something odd kind of happens with this third-party candidate named Strom Thurmond. See, Jim Crow was doing something called segregation, and Thurmond was a big fan of it. He ends up winning 3 states.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Fast forward a bit more, and it's 1964, and boom. This begins the steamrolling of the words conservatives hate most. The Great Party Switch. Civil Rights Act passes. It's affirmative action, but for everything. And strangely, after 100 years away from the Civil War, Dems vote for it, but the caveat is it's Northern Dems. 1964 election comes around and then enters the godfather of racism himself, Barry fucking Goldwater. Barry is the first to initiate a playbook on the idea that Thurmond tried years ago called the Southern Strategy by appealing to Southern white racists. He doesn't do bad, but Nixon in the next election tries the same tactic and it works twice.
And I say segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever.
Carter wins the South with his Southern charm, and now maybe the curse of the party switch is just a myth? Well, Lee Atwater enters the chat. The Southern strategy is now perfected. Who is even rumored to coin the term welfare queen? Then another charismatic Southerner named Bill Clinton. The South doesn't look back. Republicans don't want to talk about this because nuance and context never enters their mind. But when you're the one holding Confederate flags at your rallies, not sure if mentioning something that was 160 years ago is going to help you.
Oh, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove and tear down every single statue of Democratic Confederate leaders and generals. That includes Albert Pike, Nathan Bedford Forrest, John B. Castleman, Roger Taney, and let's not forget Robert E. Lee. And while we're at it, we'll also take a look at every military base and library that is also named after racist Confederate Democrats, and we'll go ahead and rename them too. We can remove all those traitorous motherfuckers. Hold the hell on. You can't do that. Why the hell not? And why do you care? I thought this wasn't your party. But it isn't. Oh, okay then. So you Republicans can stay over there and us Democrats will happily put a stop to all these disgusting people being recognized. And the last place you will see any of those names unworthy of recognition will be in the history books found in schools and libraries. And you know what? To top it off, we're gonna go ahead and burn down the remaining Democratic plantations down south as well. You see, Cottaway Plantation just got burned down this past May, right? Don't you dare touch our heritage, you fucking nigga.